Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. It's a new unboxing of an older toy because I find myself fascinated with these chunky Super 7 Transformers Ultimates. I got Megatron and a couple others. I just really like this form factor for Transformers, even though, as I often say, I don't collect Transformers. But I really like these figures, and when they go on clearance, then I'll grab them up. And actually, Big Bad Toy Store has, I think, the first 3 waves on pretty deep clearance right now. But this guy I got because I needed to get free shipping on Walmart for something else that I was getting. And I saw him and I was like, let's go, Wreck-Gar. I love Wreck-Gar. Dare to Be Stupid, used in the movie. And then Weird Al actually voiced Wreck-Gar in a later cartoon. So I love the character. The Junkions are awesome. Let's go. Let's check it out. This is clearly an older Super 7 product because it still has that slipcover on it, but very classy. It's got that spot varnish on the front for the character, the grid in the background. As much as I don't need these slipcovers, I do appreciate them. Once we get inside, we see this is specifically from Transformers the movie. And just the shape of these figures is so pleasing to me. The shape, the heft, everything about them is just so cool. Back of the box, we've got the stats, classic Transformers, I guess, file card. Or were they called something else? I'm not sure. But let's open it up and check this guy out, because I'm really... This, for me, is just, oh, this is a cool action figure, which I have mentioned recently. I'm trying to cut back on my, oh, this is a cool action figure purchases. More on that soon. But, there was a good reason to get, well, I don't know if it was a good reason, but there was... I was able to logic myself into this purchase. Let's put it that way. And isn't that a ton of what toy collecting is all about? So we see right here this beautiful, glossy, metallic backdrop. No good for thumbnails, because as you can see, it's going to reflect whatever it's facing towards. But I just love it as a backdrop for these toys. Let's get to the figure and its tons and tons of accessories. Like I said, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of Super 7's pricing, but that does look like a big, cool robot figure. Like I said, Big Bad Toy Store has I think it's all of the Super 7 Transformers Ultimates on pretty deep clearance right now. Deeper, actually, than what I've picked up the few that I've gotten for. So, as is typical in my life, my timing is just never quite right. But that's okay. I could still get, because I believe all 3 series are under $100 at the moment, which is crazy. So it might be worth just picking them up just to get them. Because I want that alligator one. Pardon my ignorance of specific Transformers lore. While I love Transformers when I was a kid, I saw the movie in the theater, of course. Watched all the cartoons. And I do own the box set of the cartoons. I think it was Rhino. It's either Rhino or Shout Factory did the DVD box set. I own it, but I haven't watched it yet. I basically just bought it because of my need for physical media and that FOMO of someday this stuff won't be available because the corporatocracies that run everything will decide, like, okay, well, they don't need to have access to that anymore. Physical media is valuable. Man, these spikes are sharp as heck, and I didn't want to use the word heck. Be careful with those when you're opening this up. Physical media is valuable because the goal of the billionaires that run everything is for us to have to pay fees for access to everything. They don't want us to own houses. I bet you didn't come here for this, did you? Turn it off if you don't like it. I wouldn't blame you a bit. But they do not want us to they don't want us to own anything. They want us to pay fees for access to housing, entertainment, anything that they can possibly charge us a monthly fee for something that they own. That's what they want. That's why housing is so outrageously expensive in America and around the world. It's not an American problem. It's everywhere. I thought that was going to rotate. It's okay that it doesn't, because honestly, I'm not sure if it should. It might be a fixed object, but it did kind of look like it was going to spin. Who doesn't want a nice little pinwheel action? All right. So anyway, buy physical media. You want to own as much of the stuff that you care about as you possibly can. All right, let's take a look at Wreck-Gar. Again, look at that. I mean, that's what a robot action figure should look like. Nice and chunky. And this is where my respect, and I know a lot of people don't feel this way, and I get it, but this is where my respect for Super 7's adherence to form factor comes in, because first and foremost, oh, look at that. I love the way they did that shoulder joint. That's great. First and foremost is the character needs to look like the character is supposed to look. And I appreciate that. I am not always a big fan of double jointed everything, because it really can mess with the aesthetics of characters. Now, if the purpose of a toy line is everybody has to move like Spider-Man, that's one thing, that's different. But for me, with something like this, the character is what's important to me. So we've got these hinged hip pieces, and then this is a soft overlay right here, so you get some movement out of those legs, as much as I need. Those are super pointy and dangerous. You could puncture someone with this. It's actually kind of crazy. This is not rubbery at all, as it would be in a mass market toy. His facial hair, or facial, I don't know how you would describe facial hair on a Cybertronian or a Junkion, but I'd be careful with that. It's got a little flexibility to it. It's not rigid, but I wouldn't go too crazy either. And actually, there's no way I'm swapping the heads on him, because he does come with an alternate portrait that's another Junkion. But I'm not taking any chances, because I won't use this anyway. I'm not taking any chances with that facial hair. Portrait looks great. This detail on the back. This makes me want to watch Transformers again. Transformers the movie. Maybe that'll be my November thing. Usually every November after Halloween is done and I've been watching horror movies for a month, I'll pick something. Star Trek, James Bond, some big franchise to just flood my November with. Maybe Transformers this time around. I wouldn't mind starting from the beginning and just going back through all those. The problem with it would be not much range in the torso right there, but again, preserving the aesthetics of the character. I'm fine with that. The only problem with Transformers binge would be I'd be tempted to buy any of the toys that are related to particularly the movie, but the old animation really at all. So the head doesn't do a whole lot of turning. I am sure, well, I know, I actually used to own one. There are much more articulated Wreck-Gar figures out there. I had one that transformed. It was actually a really, really nice figure. Now, it did not represent the animated character as well as this one does, but I will have to say, overall, it was a better toy. The detail in the fuel tank back there. This is what I wanted out of this figure. Aside from the terrifyingly sharp, spiky parts that are on it. Cannons, I wouldn't drop him or anything. It's I say cannons. I mean, is that even appropriate? Does he ever fire out of his chest cannons there? I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments. Cool. So figure-wise, this is exactly what I wanted, but more dangerous. Accessory-wise, we of course have an assortment of hands that I will absolutely be using. I like we've got the little peace sign hand. That's cool. I'd like to use that one. We've got a couple of C grips here. I've got an open sort of gesturing hand. Got a blaster hand. And then so two blaster hands, 2 C grips, and then 2 different gesture hands. And I guess I'll go ahead. Well, I don't know what accessories I want to give him yet. We've got a nice axe that we kind of already took a look at. A different kind of axe that I'll have to review to see which one. One of these might be his, one of these might be this guy's. I'm not positive. But the scene with the Junkions is so insane and chaotic because they ride around like swapping riders, weapons, everything else. So who knows? Gosh, I might have to watch that movie as soon as I'm done with this today. I've got a big blaster. Looks great. The treats that Cup gave him, right? Isn't that correct? He gave him to Grimlock, and then I think he also shared him with the Junkions, the Energon treats. And surely this isn't... Oh man, I would love to have Cup in this line. Oh wow. We've got a little... Let's do a zoom in here. Little TV with an image that I'm sure is from the movie. Communicator, maybe? I don't always know, even with G.I. Joe, which I'm much more, have much clearer memories of than Transformers, I don't always remember what the accessories are. A little rag? Did he wipe something down at some point? Maybe, possibly. Don't remember. Tell me in the comments. That's good engagement. But it is a little soft goods piece. Pretty nice. And then we've got a couple of wheels that I believe... Well, let's save those before... Because I want to swap the hands out first. You have to be really careful swapping those hands out, because I'm telling you right now, these will draw blood. These spikes are dangerous. Look. So I'm not going to use either one of the default hands. So I'm going to go ahead and remove both of those. Those popped out pretty nicely. I'm kind of happy with that. I would like to use the peace sign. So we'll stick that, even though it's going to have his big spiked wheel on it. We'll throw the peace sign on there. I don't think I want to use the blaster. So I'm going to put the C grip on this hand. Oh, those hands swap out really nicely. I'm very happy with that. So the wheels, I believe one is going to plug in right here. And the other is going to plug in right here. So the arm wheel plugs in a lot more firmly than the leg wheel. A little more snug. Oh wait, that might not be all the way in. No, there we go. Might be a little difficult to get him to throw that peace sign up the way that I want it to go up, though. Oh, maybe not, because you can turn that. There we go. So there's that. And then we'll throw, you know, so obviously this axe looks, it's got paint. It's got different colors. It looks better. It's got a different form to it. But this, and maybe this is the toy axe. Maybe that's what this one is. You know what? I am going to give him this one. Even though it's not as chunky, it's not as satisfyingly chunky as the other one, it does look, oh, that's going to be a tough fit. So that hand is a pretty rigid plastic with not a lot of give. So I take it back. I'm going to give him the, I think this is the toy version of the axe. It's going to be easier to slide in there. Oh, but it doesn't look as good because it's not as big. Huh. So I might have to just heat that hand up to get the other axe in. Or maybe I give him, oh, he can't even hold that. So the hand, I wish the hands were a little softer plastic because that's quite rigid. I'm going to have to heat it up to get anything in there. But there you go, Wreck-Gar from Transformers the movie. Like I said, I just love these big, chunky Transformers robots. Like this is the feel, this is the size, this is how I want these to be. I really, really dig them. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things, and until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.